glowing
Still, right now?
when I drove in.
Well, it's been in here for 10 minutes, so.
Oh, probably my interior light.
No. I'll jump start. Oh, I was gonna say, I'll jump start you no matter what. I'll give you a ride home regardless.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we might as well start this.
Yeah, keep going.
All right, welcome to the January 17th. Thank you. Welcome to the January 17th, 2023 regular meeting of the Lyman Board of Selectmen. This meeting is a public proceeding and is being recorded. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dave said ditto.
How you doing, Dave?
I am perfect.
Okay, just making sure you're with us. That's good. Nice call. All right, so item 1, there is no special offers. So we'll go to item 2, public input.
Just my alarm.
Good to know it's working. I guess we'll just start right off with Michelle if she wants to jump in.
No one else has anything?
Either or, one for the other.
Basically, it was kind of interesting, like after getting the nice furniture and, Michelle Ellis, the Red Brook Drive. The nice furniture stuff, it's like, almost like something's missing there on front. And it was something we talked about in charter too, but we ran out of time. It was an emblem for the city. A lot of cities have an emblem, they have a crest, they have something. And so I got to thinking, we talked about, I think Sanford has a graphics design department at the Vogue School. But I thought what would be kind of interesting is maybe if there was a competition or a request from the art students for seniors or juniors from the high school to do a competition of who gets, drawing or a graphic design for an emblem for the town. And maybe that could go along with something, this is not exactly okay, but I don't know if we still have the cousin school, what's the word I'm looking for, I just lost it completely. When they graduate from high school,
Graduation.
who needs them? No, the money.
Diploma, the what?
The,
Scholarship.
there you go.
I'm like,
It's been a really long day,
Is this
so
a game
Monday
show?
all over again. Look, so a scholarship
That was
kind of thing
fun.
to go along with it too, maybe there, because I think there's cousins, but I don't even know if they do that anymore, where we don't have cousins. There was money there at one point. So I just thought maybe that would be a cool idea to have, or it doesn't even not limit it to seniors, but just maybe the graphics art department or art department at Massabesic and put it out there to have, maybe it could be a way for the kids to earn their community hours too. I don't know, just thought, I didn't know if someone thought it was a good idea to do it that way or, just a thought. Because maybe like they could, like the historical society could give them, things through the year, a little brief thing on what this town was and is, to have something that kind of represents Lyman.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
How do we get the ball rolling on this?
You
Because
probably should have called a guidance counselor if anyone has a contact or the superintendent's office, or even just the art department, I imagine. And I can't imagine it'd be that difficult to get that bad boy rolling. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, like your school board members. I know we have Norm, and I know one just resigned, and then we have
Dryden.
JoJo
Oh,
Dryden.
Jojo?
Mm-hmm. She might be a good one to be able to just lead the way.
Instead of just high school, my daughter is doing college from home. So maybe open it up to college and high school. She's really good at design and,
Yeah,
so not,
and I think that'd be like a
definitely-
real honor for someone to have their design chosen to represent the town line, and it could be something that could be used on the sign,
Yeah.
on the nice little building we have.
Maybe just
now,
residents
too.
in general too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just something that is a really cool idea.
Yeah, so your students who are
Just
after,
after,
yeah,
yeah,
and who,
and that'd be just putting a blast out there, on social media as well, and just have a deadline, give them.
right, I think a deadline is key.
Yeah, a deadline, and then just, whether you want it round or square. If you want, something like that, I mean, I think the Historical Society, do they have a page on their website or no? Does anybody
I know they have like,
It hasn't been updated. I happen to have read it recently.
Oh,
I'm trying to learn more about the town.
Oh,
My New Year's resolution is to get more involved in the town.
awesome.
nice.
So you'll see me a lot. Suzanne Howard.
Nice to meet you. More the merrier. So it was just an idea. So I just was putting it out there because I thought, that'd be kind of, I think, a really cool community thing to have. That would be nice things like this and on the podium too.
I
So-
thought that first time I saw the.
Yeah, it almost seems like just blank. It's like it's calling
Yeah.
for something there. So I just wanted to bring that up and put that out there and just a suggestion. And then the other one I have is button-up. So I'm trying to understand, I guess, through the years, but I can remember literally as a kid going to button-up camp. I'm back in the day. What?
It's been
Because we
around for
have-
that long? I had to do that. I
I'm so
can't-
rusty.
I know,
Let's do
It was like the
Right
worst thing
there.
I could have done was say that to a woman,
So
but
what I
I
had
had to
done
do it.
is, I had asked for, like, what we have, the expenses of the YMCA and the revenue of the YMCA over the past 5 years. And I'm sure like COVID probably played into some of these numbers, but if you want to pass those out. So basically, every year we're at a loss. The first year wasn't bad, but 2019 was only a $1,500 loss, then you go to 9,000. 2 years is $14,000 losses, and this year it's a $9,000 loss. I understand this because they have to pay their people, and I think that's also why it went that way. But my thought process is, we seem so disjointed. We have a park playground over here, we have a park playground at Bundana. Elderly people cannot make it down those steps to where the stuff is to play with the kids. And then they have to park way down the other end for handicap parking and walk all the way the other end. There's no easy way to get to anywhere. A switchback might be easier for someone with knee problems, but it's all kind of like, where are we falling as a community? Where are we talking about town expansion, a community center? Where is the place to do that? Is the Bungana building that's there a good idea? I don't know what kind of shape it is in. I have not been in there in years. But the program runs after school gets out. So you have like a month where people want to swim, but they can't go in because the gate's not open, no one's manning it. They only go by the school schedule. And then they close. So it's like that building is shut down. But is it something that can be turned into a rentable space? A place for gatherings?
We used,
Question, sorry, Rusty.
No. Thank you.
we used to leave the gate open pretty much year round. And philosophy was People's Park. Then we had trouble with vandalism and some other things. But you're right, that's been an issue for a while. The Y camp basically runs with the school season. The good news is, on municipal property outdoors like that, there's no liability. So that was early on always my concern, but there is none. So the issue, in my mind anyway, in this day and age, it would be fantastic to leave it open. But I don't know that you can. Now, if I make a mistake, please tell me. I mean, usually, everybody loves to. So, you, on the lower side, did you work on that road
I
with?
put in a handicap road, it used to be all along between.
Yes, it used to be very low.
So that's all a new access road with a handicap parking sign at the end of it and a handicap picnic table.
And that's,
But if there's nobody handicapped using it, it instantly gets filled up by the public.
right.
So,
So,
and there's only room for one car to park down there and one turnaround area.
yeah, so modification there or addition to it. And again, you get into manning and policing.
Well, that leads me to, if we're always at a deficit with this program, because yes, residents get it for free, but when we also, in budget season last year, asked for who attended. You actually could ask who attended by the pricing. It was mainly people not from here using it. It was not Lyman residents. So you're basically providing a place for the public and not necessarily Lyman residents. So why, it's like, and the why doesn't give a break to someone with a kid that goes there. I pay full price, just like the other person. So what benefit is it to me?
They're
to have it right
supposed
now?
to.
It doesn't. And then like my Y aftercare is in Alfred instead of here in Lyman, where it used to be in Lyman. So we keep joining stuff with Alfred, but then half of it's here, but we get no discounts.
Okay.
So it's just like, why don't we have a part-time Parks and Rec director that does this? I mean, we already have a part-time, but you know what I'm saying? We're losing, I mean, $14,000 to me, deficit is a lot.
Quite a while ago, we were working towards trying to make that profitable.
Right.
And then a lot of the emphasis of doing things got pushed to the other side of the road.
Right.
There was a lot of talk about vending machines, another building, and things. What was it? Disc golf, we even talked about down there, remember that? Couldn't spin a thread on it. Again, who polices it, who does it? You
I
know,
think it's the Parks and Recs, like, there's no basketball courts here, there's no
Right.
tennis courts, it's like, we're doing stuff at the library, then part funding that, and it's like, okay, where are we landing for the community to make it easy? I understand the library needs some stuff for kids when.
yes,
so
but,
they're-
and that's something else that changed. Originally, a period of time ago, it was kind of loosely agreed, yeah, let's get our money into bunging up. That's why Kennebunk Beach was ignored
Mhm.
as such. And
But that's another one, a resident can't get in there. I live
Right.
literally, I can see it, I can't get down there, the beach is full, and they're not from here.
well, you don't want my thoughts on that.
Anywho.
I like
And even
riprap.
with Bugnut though, you get down there and there's nowhere to sit but the swampy lowland where the mosquitoes eat you alive, you can't get near the water. There's no picnic benches left, you know, the few times we've gone. And there was like, yeah, I'm gonna just not go.
We walked down there, a couple weeks ago, I think it was New Year's Day, because I actually work at Camp Perea, and part-time. And did you guys see the trees that came out on your picnic tables?
Oh,
So
yeah.
we took a few pictures, I thought I'd go in there, I'm like, in case you hadn't been there. But I do agree with you about, having a building to, you know, have town gatherings or town meals or, you know, a fire, like a, you know, something to, yeah,
Community.
a community space, that is, you know, a little bit more accessible.
Several years ago, my Masonic Lodge built a bunch of picnic tables. Town bought the lumber and they built them. And it could be a lot of community stuff. We used to partner with the Y on the Day of Caring.
So, sorry, really quick, so I don't want to sit down so
Yeah.
long. I'm gonna give you this is like, I wrote down the negative numbers just in case you wanna. But maybe a community committee that thinks about these things.
Yeah.
And gathers information from,
Yeah.
like, you have a lot of information from
Yeah.
the past and resources.
Yeah.
Would be the way to go. It is a big topic, but it's one that's needed as we're going forward, I think.
Do you remember those steps about 7, 8 years ago?
Which one?
The ones going down?
Yeah,
There was a big pile of dirt in front of them and they were totally somebody donated an excavator and all day and an operator. There was a Bobcat donated, several other people got involved somewhere around here. Remember Marie
Yeah.
took a bunch of pictures? It was amazing.
and I think if there was a community committee that could orchestrate those
Yeah.
things, maybe that would be
Okay.
a benefit, but it's a place to look where you're kind of looking for a community center for that.
Hmm.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, potential's tremendous there.
Go. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Anybody else actually? Public input? No? I like the animal idea. Yep, going on to mail. MMA Executive Committee, Members and Due Service Program. Yeah, moving that one. And again, this is looking for, oh, you with us, Dave?
Yep.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Talking about our dues. Yeah. moving on. Let's go to item 3, minutes. Review and approve minutes from 1/3/2023. Ooh, a long time ago.
So moved.
I will second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Wonderful. Excuse me. All right, item number 4, payroll warrant number 31 in the amount of $22,848.26.
So moved.
I will second.
Any discussion? All in favor? That was a garbled eye by Dave. Oh, this is a nice one. All right, accounts payable warrant number 32 for year end 2023 in the amount of $89,097.
So moved.
Oh, I'll go ahead and second that one too.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, the chief wanted to be here for this, didn't he?
I don't know. We discussed it at the fire commission meeting last week. And talking this through and having the input from the Dayton select board member that's on there, there are concerns of him being, the chief being pulled in many different directions and not knowing exactly how much time this position will take. It could blossom into something more than what we're thinking. A suggestion was made of putting it out there on the website or however we want to do it, to look and see if somebody in a retired nurse or doctor or somebody in the health profession. I think it was Jared from Dayton that made this recommendation. Either they have somebody like that or someplace that he had been before, they had somebody like that. And it worked out really well. So that was the recommendation from the fire commission. We're really concerned when you start looking at this and some of the other, and this was just kind of an overview of it. It's a lot of work. It can be a lot of work, depending on what the situation is going to be. And Lindsay and I talked a little bit and don't really know. We don't have a lot of past history. It's been kind of when somebody was available, and Patty did it a lot and what have you. So didn't want to take the plunge and putting this on the chief's on plate right at this moment. So recommendation is maybe see if there's somebody from the town that would want to do it on that.
I can put it out on like MMA.
Yep.
As a resource and like Facebook or whatever. Maybe Indeed. But I just worry we might get a lot of like phishing applications.
Yeah.
And right now, like I think our budget's like $400 stipend a year. I don't know, like, really attract someone.
It's going to be.
It would almost have to be a hiring committee situation, right? Because you gotta vet them. They gotta be qualified,
Yeah, I mean, I can't
Sure.
right? And you either gotta come up with an hourly or a stipend.
We already have a stipend. It's like $400 a year.
Right, it's totally inadequate.
Well, I mean, for your budget.
Yeah, we'd have to go through the budget committee and, raise it through the budget committee as a stipend.
Yeah.
I think I would just start, we can start on MMA and see like, and like.
Well, I'll, not to correct you, Tom, but we don't have to go through the budget committee, but we can go through the budget process.
Right.
Oh, budget process, yes.
I think that's
Yes.
what he was,
Thank you.
that's how I understood it.
Yeah. How about just, would MailChimp be, in,
I can do a with MailChimp, I don't have a problem doing that, I'm just running into issues where you
You're-
only get so many
you're-
emails.
Yeah,
and-
that's right, that's not till next year. Yeah, that's right.
But
Got
I
it.
was able to send some out today, so as long as
Okay.
you don't put our limit, you can send some out.
Okay,
But we don't know how to pay for them yet, right?
Well, we do, we have a stipend.
we have a stipend that's in the budget now that isn't,
Yeah, and MailChimp is local. Maybe we get somebody to be like volunteer. And here's your little stipend to do it.
Oh, okay,
So they got me to coach high school soccer.
okay.
kind of lessons, kind of like us.
You're right. Yeah, sorry. All right, so we'll put it out. Let's
See what we can do, and, you know, I would use this as a informational,
Yeah,
not, you know, for it to start with, and,
There, somebody's gonna jump on that.
well,
I hope. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. I don't want to jinx myself. I already did. Never mind. Oops. That's yours. All right. Item 6: department and committee reports. Brad, what's going on in the world of road commissioner?
So one thing I would like to see if, Lindsay, if you could put on our website, the state statute on pushing snow across the road again.
Oh, every year.
Just put that on there. Second thing, which is actually a bigger issue, I've had numerous complaints on our sign being too bright at night and non-legible. You can't read it. And I was victim of it this last storm coming around the corner over here, a little bit of fog and headlights coming right at you, and you could not see a thing. That sign is so bright, it needs to be toned down, similar to just what they have at the fire station. Theirs is duller, it has colored background, it is way too bright, it's non-legible. You really can't read it.
Can you tone it down?
You can, it's the same exact signs that they have over there,
Is it?
so they can be adjusted.
I wonder if I can do it right from the app, or if I need to get like friends.
I think you can do it from the app,
I think.
I believe.
Lens
But
should-
either way,
she'll figure it.
it needs to be addressed, because I've had 4 different people,
Lens will figure it.
plus myself is 5.
Interesting. Nice. It is a bright sign.
it is.
I will.
Well, it's so
I-
bright that it isn't legible.
I know
When
that
you're on top
The
of it, it's
white- the white
extremely
letter.
bright.
in the right circumstances,
Yeah.
I agree. But the amount of people that tell me what's going on because I read it on that sign.
Right.
That's,
So if
I
it's
guess
more
I'll keep it
legible, I would
positive and
think
I'll
it'd be
say that.
Yeah.
More positive.
'Cause,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, you want to do this one? Yeah, what's this? Yeah, fire chief.
Yeah, I thought you would have been here for this. He didn't ask me to do this one, but.
Wow,
Well, that just came through, right?
his fault.
I think he wants to be reimbursed. He wants money. Yeah, they have the tank underneath, and they had to have it pumped out. A lot of stuff from it's a catch basin. It didn't have a lot of maintenance on it. Now they're putting it on a PM schedule, but it backed up and was causing some problems. So they had to have Clean Harbors come in because it had oil and what have you in it. So it was a $3,121.20 job, and then so it's a 50-50 deal with Dayton. So we own $1,560.60. He wants to reimburse the fire department operating budget, specifically the facility operations general maintenance line. He wants them to come from the Goodman's Mill Fire and Rescue Building Capital Account, which there's money. We don't have Jeanette here, but there's money there.
They put that at the bottom of the
Yeah.
email.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
There's money.
Man, it's so good.
But that's Matt.
Well, you got it from her. Give her credit. Oh, yeah, the second is for a capital account fund up to a total of $2,000, 50/50. So it's $1,000 from each to have an electrician move the reverse osmosis water system and Ansel Fire Protection System electrical circuits to the emergency electrical panel. This would fix an issue where these two systems do not have power on the emergency backup generator. They found that out during the big storm where everybody lost and they had no water at the fire department. Probably not a good thing. So it's an pretty easy fix. I'll make a motion to grant the chief his request of 156060 for the drainage pipe pumping and 1,000 for the electrical work.
I'll second.
Any discussion? You hear us, Dave? David?
I don't see that lit up either.
Sorry.
Yeah, just checking, we'll make sure you're with us.
Oh, yeah.
All right, no discussion, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Oh, thanks, Chief, thanks for coming.
He wasn't on because he was getting ready for his big report.
Let's see, we're moving on to Kennebunk Pond. Dave, you got any?
The committee is working on the final meeting with David Maines, and from there, they'll be finalizing the cost. So they'll bring that forward and make sure that they have enough funds secured to do the work that they've voted on.
All right. Moving on to the treasurer, there's an expense report tacked in here. There's a lot of numbers, so I think we'll just slide that over. CEO policy update recommendations. Brenda.
Did you get my email? Or do you want me to-
We have it right here, yep.
I would like to suggest that the selectmen do a directive that town properties, town buildings, and buildings on town properties be inspected by the fire chief, electrical inspector, and myself. And I think it's necessary. And then after, I don't know, every 3 years, every 5 years, whatever you deem necessary. And of course, those records would go into my files. I think it would be a good,
I think it's a good idea.
But I agree 100%.
We're just talking about, one day we're just talking about here, and the smokes and the wire pulling and all that. I mean, we need to be as compliant as we're asking everybody else to be, so.
Do you have a suggestion on time interval between inspections?
Right.
which I've kind of checked around other towns that do this, and it seems increasingly more towns are doing it. And they say, I've heard 3 years, I've heard 5 years. 3 years seems a little often, but I mean, I know not a lot happens. Most of these buildings in 3 years. And then, especially like this building, the fire chief and electrical inspector, myself, a year more
Sure.
on it. But I just think it would at least get it on the record.
Any major construction, you're out there anyway, right?
Yes.
So,
And we expect this of the businesses in town. They be re-inspected periodically, so I think we should bring the town into that same line.
Hopefully meet in the middle of 4. Just 3's at 5 to 4.
Is this something we vote on right now? Do we
Why not?
need to think about, do we need to say?
let's do it.
We
Let's
probably
do
need
it.
Chief and the
language.
electrical inspector both agreed.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just wondering year-wise, that was my own.
Oh. Well, it doesn't
We
matter.
just said a 5 or
3, 4, 5 doesn't matter.
5.
So moved at 3 years. All you need now is a second.
Second.
There you go.
All right.
Excuse me. Just the language in there, that it doesn't have to wait the 3 years, but that would be maximum to wait. for 3 years.
Yeah.
That'll give the building inspector and electrical inspector or fire chief, lateral to come in when they deem it necessary.
And also any new construction.
Good.
Yeah. You're probably gonna write the article, right? Not, you're the most qualified person here.
I was just, kind of wondering, so the results of those inspections, would you care to see those reports, or would you just want them to go into the files, or any mediation that needed to be done, or?
Well, I think we need to see him to get mediation done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
we
sure.
were thinking like the library, certainly this building, I mean, we were even thinking the transfer station.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And who would have a list of those properties? Probably Laurie, the assessor, most, and contact people?
Now you've got the buildings at Bunganut
I was
too.
just gonna say, let's include Bunganut, because
Oh,
to
Yeah.
Michelle's point, the mansion, as they call it, is not a mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I definitely do. I mean,
That's great.
if we can avoid any injury, that's the way to go.
So we need-
Do we need to
Did we
vote on
vote?
that? Yeah, we
There was a motion and a
seconded.
second, and we didn't
Yeah.
vote.
We were discussing it.
All in favor for John's motion?
I,
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Definitely. All right, tax clerk, December report. Excise tax received, 73,923. Year-to-date excise collection, 628,297.48. Go Sue.
Better report this time. We got $30 in boat registration.
Is it?
Last time it was $0. We got $30.40.
Who registered their boat? Something I
Someone
do.
got one for Christmas.
Something I do. All right, moving on. Item 7. Oh, we gotta pick up a
Can I ask a
workshop date.
question on departments?
Yeah, that's good.
How's the town hall building committee doing?
I was just thinking that today, but I haven't, emails that were been going out back and forth, it's probably been a week or so since I've seen something, so.
I've emailed Mark and he has some RFPs that I think to a steel building company that he was gonna check on to get a rough idea on cost per square foot.
Yeah.
A newer number, and I haven't heard back from him yet.
Have we got a surveyor yet?
Dave, have you made contact with Steve on that?
yes,
Okay,
yes. Also, the Brad Lodge.
okay.
Yep.
Certainly.
Okay, super. So you guys are moving. Perfect.
Should we add that as a committee
Yeah,
to the agenda moving
yeah,
forward?
just,
Even if they have nothing, that's at least a
Yeah, good call.
placeholder.
Did you get that? Nice call, good call.
All right.
Yeah, all right, ARPA memorandum.
no, we got a,
What?
A.
Oh, jeez. She moved the meeting forward and I got all excited. All right, yes,
Took it back.
discuss budget, next budget workshop, schedule and date. I know Thursdays have been working good for me. Anybody got any recommendations?
I can't remember when they are anyway.
you said Thursdays are bad for you, right?
No, Thursdays were great.
Oh.
for me, but-
You're not gonna go play soccer at 10 o'clock at night again, right?
No, well, I can't, I got broken toes.
You got broken toes.
Broken toes. Dave, how's your schedule?
What is What's Wednesday look like for people? Does that throw a wrench in? Like,
No,
Wednesdays are bad for
Wednesdays
me.
bad? Okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
Either one for
sorry.
me.
No, I can make it work. I just,
We don't have a Monday, I don't know, the 23rd.
we
No,
can
this-
stick with that. I don't need to throw the wrench in it. It's a one time. No, I'm good. I'll make it
Are you
work.
looking for next week?
Just next week, yeah.
26th, is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I can make that work.
Well, you tell me.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, If
What,
if anything
Wednesday?
else, that's gonna be the better week.
What
than-
day?
it's a Thursday,
Thursday, the
26th.
26th, next Thursday.
Yeah, that's okay.
When's, hoping. All right. Guess that's what we'll do it, Thursday, 6 o'clock. Hopefully Jeanette's okay. What do we do without phones? Well, Live like John.
Hmm?
No phone.
No, mine's in my truck. I never bring it in.
All right, ARPA memorandum.
Huh?
Anybody wanna?
Let's flip it anyway.
ARPA memo.
Yeah, it's actually just, it looks like a lot of guidelines.
It's mostly like, once you turn in, you know, how much money you're gonna spend on the transportation or whatever, the state or the federal law requires you put it up to bid.
Yep.
So,
She gave us in our package, oh, I'm sorry, you were all on that, yeah. This was in our package.
And it's pretty close to where we go anyways.
And
Really
chime in,
close.
Michelle, if I say something wrong here, but when we talked at the ARPA committees, that we need to start moving on this. If we're gonna, now with this, we're gonna have to put this out to bid. Spring isn't that, and I love saying that, spring isn't that far away to get things on people's, get them on the books if we're
We
gonna do
have one
some
more
work.
meeting on 31st. We were hoping to do a good roundup last time, but we have one more meeting. I think that someone's getting some numbers together, so we have something solid to present to you, because basically all the funds like, our recommendations are basically gonna use up all the funds and tiny buffer. But who was pulling, was there something else we're waiting for? Was it you?
For the transfer station,
Yeah,
was
there
there
was
something
something
else? There was
Yeah.
something else too.
Because I think it's actually the Kennebunk Pond Committee, we're waiting for their final numbers to come in, because that was one of our recommendations, is to cover everything they have left for them to do. And that would be part of the funds that we recommend, because it would be tax-friendly. So we're waiting for that final report from them, which hopefully will be in by the 31st. If not, we're just gonna give our recommendations. So you can have it for also budget report.
Are there ARPA items that we need to do spring?
All of the transfer station stuff was part of ARPA money that we were,
That'll all be spring work, yeah.
all spring work.
I know we fell behind with Bunganut, didn't get things done quick enough before it opened
Yeah,
up for the
but that's
season.
part of the monies that we were looking at, and then
Right.
Kennebunk Pond. And that was basically, that chewed up
Pretty much the budget.
pretty much, in the fire station, of course, the stuff that was
Yeah.
allocated towards the fire department.
Right,
Splitting with Dayton, of course. And that was, I think there was like a $50,000 buffer in the end, leftover money, and that was without knowing what things are gonna cost
Sure.
as our fees go out.
Contingency.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
And Brad had some really good improvements for the transfer station, like to really take care of the big issues that are going on there. Yeah,
That's money spent with a long life benefit, so that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, no, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's so much safer.
All right. Mail subscription request, see email. Not really too familiar with this one.
So there's
Oh,
a policy on like what gets posted on the web and and stuff like that, and so this got forwarded to me I think about like dog vaccine or something.
Yep.
And again, they're asking to do a MailChimp blast, but I am hitting the limit, so I don't even know if I'll be able to. The other issue is, you know, we have to be careful letting outside vendors kind of, you know, take over our MailChimp and our web, because, you know, especially with MailChimp, it's like, they can suck up our email, allotment before we get an opportunity to use it.
Right.
So the policy says it's up to the designee of the board, so I just put it up to you guys.
We should leave it as is.
Yeah, I'm hesitant just because if you do it for one business and every other business is gonna start emailing
And
saying,
I
Lindsay,
do
can you
get,
blast me to the town?
Yeah, I get a lot of, you know, solicitations to post things on the web, you know, some of it's more like, you know, those organizations like Alzheimer awareness and stuff like that, and, but I don't typically click on them. I always have to be cautious of like what links we put up there, you know, I don't want, I'm getting an outside source, I don't know how legit it is.
If we were doing it here and the town was
Yeah.
coordinating it, I think that'd be one thing. But in this case, I just hesitate personally.
I agree. It's been on the news too. I just heard it on the news or the radio about it's time by the end of the month. If you don't register by the end of the month, you're
Yeah.
subject to a $25 late fee or what have you. So it has been out there. So
Okay.
thank you.
We'll just leave it as is. Okay. Oh. I guess there was no key in my folder. Okay.
I don't remember if I put it in your folder or not, but I think Jeanette brought this up. If we could get maybe Brad a key to the building, because we're running into, he's on a lot of committees, but we don't always have access to the building. So you guys have to approve issuing keys, I'm told.
So it's for Brad.
Yeah. Yeah. So like this Thursday, the budget committee, has a meeting, so they won't have any access to the building if we don't get them a key.
Brad having the key.
Brad
He's a
having
town employee.
Exactly. That's the way I felt about it.
Yeah.
And it's just through the front door and into here.
Yeah, it's just the front door.
I make a motion for Brad Nickel to be issued a key and code to the building for purposes of committee meetings.
I would second that.
Any discussion? No, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Look at that.
Lucky you.
Look at you, Brad. You're in the club.
One to come in, two to leave. It's key to know. One to come in, two to leave.
So he's gotta get set up with his number and all that stuff,
Yeah.
right?
I can't remember who told me that. Didn't we already approve that? Loan contract?
We reviewed the draft, now we have an actual contract with a vendor, so nothing's really changed in that contract other than the price. So you guys have to sign that tonight, I figured, and you don't have to read through the whole thing if you don't want to, but.
Because this is a contract you already read and approved.
Yeah, the
Okay,
draft.
making sure.
The only thing that's different is his price in there, what he put in his bid proposal.
Good.
So,
Cool. Same thing with this.
with mowing, I mean, the.
Plowing.
Plowing. So there is one difference in there, that Paul requested was to take out the, 10% monthly holding in lieu of a performance bond, because he felt he'd been doing work for the town for 18 years. So he was okay with either leaving it in there or taking it out, but he suggested taking it out, and then instead of doing 10 monthly payments with an 11-month payment of all the 10% that was held, it would just be 11 monthly payments. Does that make sense? So it's
To
up to
me,
you guys, are you
but
okay with removing the
withholding.
language on performance bond, or if you want, we can keep it in there?
I think he's shown his
Yeah, I'm okay removing based on the past history with the town.
Yeah.
It's just standard practice.
We already voted on these. Do we need to vote again?
Yeah. You can vote yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want you guys to see like what's in front of you
Yep.
before you sign on it. It'll be in sign.
Thank you.
We don't have to vote on the change of the payment schedule,
It was, you voted on the bid proposal,
so
so,
the money's the same,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
just,
no, no.
okay. You
Can I,
guys okay with that? Or,
can I make a motion that we approve removing the payment, the performance bond language from the following contract?
uh,
Sorry, I'm not asking that question, I'm making that motion.
Yeah. I second it.
Okay. Any discussion on that?
Yeah, so you're looking to take off the performance, bond on the plowing contract,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, it wasn't an actual performance bond. The language was in lieu of one, that we would hold 10% of every monthly payment, and then on the 11th month of the year, he would get all that money back.
Do we have a rough amount of what we're talking?
It's because as prices change, like, especially with this new 5-year contract, the price changes every year. It's just 10, you take that lump sum every year, divided by 10 months, and then take 10% of that monthly amount. So it's gonna be different each year. It's just, we were doing that in case, you didn't perform well on something, that we would have a backup that we could hold.
I mean, it's not a trust issue with the person, that's for sure. But it's, when you're dealing with this kind of money, I don't know if that's the best avenue to go. I think we should discuss it a little further.
Lindsay, did you explain the math? I just want to make sure I understood you. You take the full amount divided by the 10 months and it's 10% of that amount?
Yes.
So for the purposes of the first year, it's like $4,500.
Each month. And then, multiply that by 10, we give that on the 11th month if we don't use it.
Okay, each month, that's the part that I was.
I just can't imagine that the numbers of that type, that figure can't be held until the end of the year. That's my opinion.
He's open to either or. He just proposed it when I was talking to him about the contract, because he said, he's been doing this for 18 years. If you guys ever awarded a contract to a different vendor, you could always put language in there, you want a performance bond or something like this. So I think if you guys went with keeping the performance bond in there, he's gonna be fine with that. We just thought it would be easier to do 11 monthly payments than do the 10% holding.
So.
No.
Looking over your shoulder, Jessica, is that final payment around 45,000?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're hanging on to a fair chunk for the year.
Well, it's not 45,000 until the end of the year.
Right,
By the end of the year, with no issues all the way, he'd be getting that check, would he not?
Correct.
yes.
So it's not like that $45,000 would be held that long. I understand about $4,500 a month. My position was, I don't think the numbers are so tight that a contract of that size can't handle a $4,500 per month hold. I mean, it's,
Well, maybe I'm misunderstanding it. I understood that we were holding that 4,500 every month.
My motion, so Paul requested that we don't necessarily, he suggested or implied taking it out this year and not holding it
Not
this
holding it,
year.
okay.
That was my motion.
Was it just for this year, Jess?
I think this outlines the whole contract, so the whole 5-year contract.
Preacher.
I mean, there's language about breaching contract, there's legal language in here, that's where I come at it from, just based on his past history of performance, but.
I guess until I know more about it, I would be against it.
Well, what more do you need to know, Dave?
Well, why? Are the numbers that tight? If the numbers are that tight, then it
Did he give you?
does not, it does not give me any sense of security. I can't imagine that they are that tight.
It sounds like he's okay either way. Listen to the conversation.
I just know that the struggles that a lot of businesses are facing right now, as far as being able to hire people and rising fuel costs and all those things. And again, he's had the contract for, what, 18
18 years.
years? So that's,
Let me try to apologize for. We were doing this in lieu of a performance bond.
Right.
So if we take this away, we're gonna ask him to produce them?
No, there'd be no performance.
Oh.
bond. But like what Jessica's saying, you can still terminate a contract, or still like a breach of contract.
I guess my thing is okay, so let's just play this for one, let's just say that we have that in place, we're withholding $4,500 per month, and they stop performing. We're in a heck of a lot more trouble than holding $4,500 if they stop plowing the road.
Which happened in Acton a couple of years ago, maybe more than that now.
The reason, one of the reasons I asked that, it says under B, under breach of contract, 7 breach of contract under B, it was talking about substitution, if they may hire a substitute contractor, and that's a substitution we paid with money from your bond. Is there another bond?
There isn't another bond, because in lieu of a performance bond, we're
He
holding
withhold.
10%.
Right.
I understand.
He's basically self-funding the
Yep.
bond.
I got it.
Is
So
what it
he's-
is.
So you're
And-
in a triangle.
And I would be, I guess I would be okay with it, but it would have to be, that you'd have to do it townwide at that point. I mean, there are performance bonds for contractors during public, the planning board. I mean, you gotta put up your bond just to get a permit.
I don't know if this plays into it or not, but in the last 8.5 years, he's the only guy that's bid on the contract, period.
Again, it's certainly not about the person, by no means.
All right, so we've had a first and a second. I guess we had a vote on it. Right? Any other discussion?
Jeez.
Was that?
I'm looking at Jessica.
No, it's my face, sorry. No, I'm
So,
not sorry.
so the vote,
You don't have to be sorry.
I'm working on not being sorry for my face.
so the
That's
vote
my
is that we're not requiring the 10%. Is that the vote?
The contract as is, right? No bond, no performance.
Yeah.
No 10%.
All right. All right. All in favor? I'm gonna vote on too. You in? Dave, you in?
I oppose.
Okay. Do we redo this?
No.
Do we have another?
If you want, he's fine either way. So I have another contract with the same language that we were talking about in there. So if you guys want, you can just, you want.
I'd like to
formally
move
that
forward
one?
as we currently are.
Yeah,
But do we need to vote on that, or we don't need to, because that's what we're currently doing?
No, just vote against
need to,
it,
we
then
just
you've
have to
defeated this
sign
and you're
it.
done.
Right, and that's.
Yeah,
kind of
I
what
was
we
just making a
did.
motion, because if we were gonna do that, I wanted documented that we did it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. Do we need to do anything with mowing? We've already voted on it. It's already exactly what was we voted on. Right. Remove it. Da-da-da-da. I don't have a G, so annual town report dedicating to group/individual. Comments. I think we talked about it.
That was at the budget workshop.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that really wasn't.
Well, we didn't last year because of timing. We were behind the 8 ball, and I've never been involved in what it takes to the qualifications for a dedication to a person. I kind of have ideas of what it would entail, but it was brought up that we might want to consider a group within the town, Boy Scouts, fire department, historical society, as just as another option as opposed to a person.
Cemetery committee.
Cemetery, any of them.
I think it's a great idea. I don't know. Anybody
Now,
else?
historically, I don't know how was it? Is it the board that decides that?
Usually,
Yes. Okay.
somebody comes up with a name from somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I can't explain it any better than that.
No, I had a feeling that was it.
And then, quite often, when they come up with that name, it kind of gets handed to the board on a piece of paper to pretend the person doesn't find out. And traditionally, the board looks at it and says, oh, what a great idea. Somebody nominates it and they vote, and away you go.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's no, what it does do, they have a ceremony for them over in Alfred. Oh, good Lord, what do they call it? I don't know, but Morris. What they call that, we went to one year in Alfred for Davy when he was, the yearbook was dedicated to him. Do you remember? I don't either. It was a York County
Oh,
thing.
you're kind of the government award.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
everybody,
okay.
all the
Alfred?
town yearbook,
Nominate somebody.
nominate somebody.
Yeah.
And then they're all mentioned at that
no.
ceremony.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All right, so should we?
what, 4 or 5 of us went one year and supported
Dave
Davy.
got the award.
Yeah, Davy got it. So.
Should we come up with suggestions for the next meeting? Michelle?
Could Lindsay do a MailChimp if you wanted public input? If you were doing group, just like
Yeah.
one.
I thought we don't have any chimps
Oh, you don't
left.
have any
We don't have
chimps
chimps left.
No
They
chimps.
all opened the cage and they left.
Or
No
you could just send an
baboons,
if
no
somebody sent us- send
orangutans,
an
and
email
certainly
with
no
nominee.
gorillas.
I don't know.
So,
We're working
so
on
it's
the
not,
budget committee.
Yes, we have no bananas.
Get more
so it's
bananas.
not against the possibility of having a committee or a group as opposed to an individual. Does anybody have a problem with that?
No, I don't
Okay.
see any issues.
So maybe just put it out there, the
Can
next
we?
meeting.
Can we put it out there? Do we have enough chimps left? Enough
We
bananas?
got a Facebook page, put it on.
Yeah,
Yeah, with,
Yeah, just like I send an email.
and then
yeah.
Person slash.
person
group,
group.
Group committee.
Just set it for 2 weeks or a week.
Yeah.
The next meeting, we'll see what we get and
It's one of the few things left we can do without strangling it with rules.
be easy. Not over yet.
June, baby.
All right, H, newsletter discussion. I forget these mic. Newsletter.
Was your belt slipping?
Who's on the?
So we talked about this briefly, it came up as a conversation, in budget committee, and so we talked about putting it on the agenda. I'm just looking for board support to work with Lindsay on putting together a newsletter.
Is that kind of like you're volunteering?
Oh, yeah, no, I totally am, like legitimately,
Is that
I'm
a,
excited
is
about
this
this.
like a
So moved.
bi-weekly, weekly, monthly?
Just whenever,
Just a letter.
figure it out, we'll start working together and come up with a outline of what we're thinking.
Maybe we could add
Propose
things
it to the
in so
board.
we wouldn't have to MailChimp them all into the newsletter.
I made a so
He's
moved.
made, so he's so,
MailChimp.
I second.
Yeah,
And
any
we just had a
discussion?
bunch of discussion.
All right, I love it. All in favor? Congratulations, Jess. That's- Wow, it's gonna have a
You guys
special
laugh,
name.
I really am excited.
Is it
You,
gonna have
no,
a
you are,
special
no,
name?
I'm,
It's your inner nerd.
What's,
It's totally my inner
what's the
nerd.
name gonna be? You
I
gotta,
don't-
you gotta come up with something.
You need to calm down over there.
Like a Mustang.
candy did you have tonight?
This is gone. RSU 57 board member opening, discuss appointing a new member. All right, so
Was that for our town?
Yes,
Wow.
one of them left.
Okay, how do you do that? Okay.
And don't they fill out the volunteer application? I think that's how we had him do it last time.
But
Have you contacted the two?
no, I haven't been able to contact either of them yet to see if they're
Just
interested.
go to
I think
the
that'll be the first people I contact, and they're interested. And then, yeah, if you want, we can also simultaneously make some sort of volunteer form or something.
Yeah,
Who ultimately makes the decision on that one?
the board until the end of this term.
yeah,
Okay.
so do we, I guess, reach out to these two? How are we all feeling on that?
Put it out to everyone.
Yeah, I think we had to put that.
I don't know how,
Well, we got to consider those two people first and then how we want to put it out.
yeah, both, I don't know if you guys can see, know what we have, but both of the people that we're talking about were candidates for the June ballot that didn't make it. And so they both had some somewhat substantial votes, and so we were looking to see if they would go first. But I guess how the
Are you still gonna
procedure is.
take applications?
Right, because I'd be interested in putting an application in, if you're not gonna, if you're gonna open it up.
I think you said we'd do it simultaneously. Yeah, because they want us to fill this quickly.
Yeah.
Well, we want to, or I want.
I mean,
So I
I
can't
know
say
the-
we.
I know the last time it was drawn out and
Yeah,
that-
we don't wanna
that- they got ugly. So,
You saying that?
oh, I was just gonna say we could do maybe like the application form, and if either of those two are interested, maybe they could fill out an application.
Yeah,
no, there you go.
yeah.
And I think that's what happened last time. And
That includes
the
everybody.
Prior applicant wasn't interested at that point, but
Is it just going to come through us, through the board?
yeah, we appoint until the end of that.
Yeah. And then if they want to
Election
run,
time.
they can, okay. Cool.
All right, so we all go to that? I think so.
Wow.
So many emails, I can't even wait to see them all.
Review and approve POs for cemetery tree removal services, PO 1610, 1114, and 1607.
I have a question.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
All those POs, sorry, all
No.
those POs are listed for the same exact number. They don't list where the trees are being taken from, and they don't list necessarily what work is being done. Are they cutting the trees and removing everything? Are they just cutting the trees? I mean, for keeping records for, posterity's sake and clarity, what trees are being removed for $49.99? Why is, where is it, where the locations?
My question too was, did they put any of this out to bid? Like, aren't they subject to the same price?
We had this discussion once.
I mean, so confusing. The town voted with full money from surplus for this tree removal.
Correct.
And the cemetery committee's been a little confused on what's the process to get that money, because they're coming out to cut trees, I think, the end of January. So, I don't know, I don't know the process well myself. I did talk to the treasurer a little bit, and they just thought, well, we'll do purchase orders.
I'm okay with purchase orders, like, it has to be bid. The total dollar amount to me says it has to be some type of bid, even if it's a comparison of hourly rates.
Do we have a contract with this firm? I mean, I know they're starting next week, because they've been in contact with me.
All I know is the cemetery committee came to you guys.
The same guy.
Yeah.
And they said they put out for quotes, this is what they got for quotes, they picked the
That's
lowest one, that's where we got $60,000 from.
So it's
So I
been
think,
out to
you know,
Okay.
Okay.
they've
That was my
done
question.
this, I don't work with the cemetery committee, like, I don't know.
So they just gotta document what they did.
I can
Yeah.
almost guarantee you, working with, I think his name is Jim, he's pretty detailed. I almost guarantee he has all
Who, the guy with
cemetery committee.
cemetery? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just was wondering, do we have a contract of what they're actually gonna do? Are they just dropping trees, are they removing them? I mean, it's important to know that, because I know the mess that's been left around.
My understanding is it's just being cut and not cleaned up.
There's a lot of stuff been removed, though.
I,
Even-
Just-
I know they leave the,
Yeah.
They leave the trunks. like,
They leave the trunks.
up there.
I don't know if, I can't say for the brush and stuff, but I know they leave the trunks if somebody wants to pick it up for firewood.
Right,
I've
right.
heard that in the past.
Yeah, and I've been surprised, stuff that I've thought, that I used to drive by that eventually sort of disappears.
Yeah.
so
So,
should we have somebody in here to talk to us?
You wanna invite them,
Well, the time's gonna be short. If
Yeah.
they've got people coming, and we gave them permission to park
Right.
behind the fire station, right?
right,
No, they're
Yeah,
parked
the
over the pit. They was-
Oh, the pit, that's right.
He's already been in contact with me.
That's right.
They're starting next
We
week.
did vote on that, we did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the way these
Yes.
are, they come under our threshold of, yes.
Mhm.
which is
But
good.
that's the way that's written, though.
Yeah.
How can we,
I don't have a problem, like, we can ask them for invoices, ask them for more information.
Yeah, just the documentation, how they got
I
here.
can't see that they wouldn't have it. I just
Yeah.
a little that I've dealt with them.
And then another time, say, hey, another time, get this to us a little sooner, please. Right? I mean, I don't mean to speak for you guys.
Yeah, I guess I really didn't think it was gonna be this early, in the year,
Well,
January.
I think you're taking advantage of not having foliage too.
yeah, no
Well, true.
foliage.
True.
Frozen ground.
But I mean, as detailed as they've been with signs around on the cemeteries,
Yeah.
I mean, even the one that's in my front yard, I moved it. He got after me and said, nope, you gotta move back. And they know their cemeteries,
All right, so
so I can't imagine that they don't have the detail.
Well,
I think
yes.
that she should reach out to them.
Yeah, just how they get here.
And if there's a problem, if some of these questions aren't answered, then we're gonna have to delay it.
Correct.
If they're okay, I would hate to hold up because they're mobilizing, like you said, next week.
Right.
If they
So
could
we got to approve this tonight then.
That's why they're PO.
Well, trying to play the edge here. I wouldn't, can you do it tomorrow?
Like motion pending, whatever,
That's what I was thinking, something we could do.
like what questions you want answered, you wanna know what the work is for?
I mean, how can they all be the same
More
number?
details on what trees are. being
Because they
cut.
had a total price and what
And they
they
just
did, they just
divided
come
it.
under the threshold.
Yeah.
So they don't have to get bids.
Yeah.
It just
These are the things I
simplified.
send back at my job, so I don't take it. So we want to know the details.
Yeah,
on
you
what
just want to know how they got
doing.
here.
Are they, yeah, what are they taking?
Where are they
leaving?
cutting, what are they leaving, what are they doing?
Hmm.
And then we want to know who they solicited pricing,
Yeah,
from, how they got their
Go out to bid.
pricing.
So that could be a motion pending on that.
Pending all those questions are answered,
Yeah. And so,
Rusty will come in during the week and sign POs.
yeah, there you go.
am I mistaken, or is this, when we had the meeting with them, isn't this what they did not want us to do? Is to have to come to us for the money that we eventually approved for them? Or am I thinking,
I know right now, they're a little confused on the process, because we put this to town vote, we voted on pulling money out from surplus, so like, they kind of, I think they're under the impression that the money's there, it's approved, because they came to you guys and they said, look, we got X amount of quotes, this is the dollar value we figured out, we did all our due diligence. And
Did they
so-
give us, sorry, I apologize, because I don't have it with me, did they give us the quotes?
They didn't, they just
Okay.
talked about it in their presentation.
And I was okay, and we put it to, they're absolutely right, we did put it to vote, I'm not saying I don't approve trees to be cut, I still think that money falls under town expenditure rules. Right, yeah. So,
But you're saying, we didn't do a real, like you say, and now I'm confused, but maybe not. Maybe we didn't do as good a job as we should have, because they are explaining, because they are confused. Is that where we are?
Well, it's like we approved a budget line for specifically tree cutting, you know, X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
When we
They
do
just
that,
don't know how do they get that money approved, because they gotta pay the vendor.
Right.
And that, you know, the treasurer's gonna write the check.
yeah, I don't think either side's doing anything wrong, I just
Yeah.
think we need to just clear it up, that's all.
And I think this answers it. If they have a PO for this, when they
Right.
submit a bill, they'll, based on that PO. So I think we're there, just make sure that,
Just need to
confirm all the stuff was done prior. And if it meets the straight face test, then
Yeah.
we're good to go.
all the stuff meaning like the RFPs, Tom? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, if they bid this or they got proposals.
Yeah.
And they have a plan, and we know they have a plan. We know what cemeteries, we don't know which ones they are, but we know they have a plan of which cemeteries, because they keep a record of that. And then the question is, you know, what is the scope of the work? Are they chipping, the brush? Are they leaving everything behind? Or are they taking it all with them?
Right.
What's,
I think Jessica has a better point of having it fall under the town's process with the RFP for expenditures.
Yeah, I think both questions. I think they already have done it. I think that's how they kind of presented it to us, and I didn't ask in that moment because we didn't know if it was gonna be approved. The town had to vote on it. So now it's just making sure that they have the appropriate documentation to support these purchase orders. Then we just sign them. Or Rusty signs them, I should say.
Yep. You good?
Yeah, so we got a motion on the floor, right?
Oh, to approve with
Yeah.
everything checking out.
Yeah.
And
Did
was
you
there on that?
did you second that, Tom?
I made the motion.
Okay, well, I'll second.
All right,
And we
we've
discussed.
discussed.
Oh, yeah, we discussed a lot.
Okay, all in favor?
Hey,
All right, 5-0. All righty then. I have no paperwork on this one, but we're gonna appoint Michelle. Oh, I did see that. Where did I? Oh, I saw it. I saw it under the signatures.
It's because one of the other ballot clerks, I think, can't do it, so we just need to replace the one that we lost, so Michelle has.
Yeah, Shirley called me today. I guess someone's very sick,
Yeah.
so she just asked me to step
Okay.
I make a motion that we appoint Michelle Felicetti as ballot clerk for the special town meeting on January 18th, 2023.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All right. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Beautiful. Wow. Now we do a motion.
No, other,
Oh, let's not.
Okay, other.
You know he does.
I have one thing, Mr. Chairman, if I may.
he does. I thought I had one.
Yes, please, go ahead,
Write
Dave.
it down.
In regards to the land study, I've requested past harvest information on all vacant land owned by the town, and the stumpage pricing the town received. It appears that there is information on file, but it dates back to 2016. However, it appears that this timber harvesting was awarded with no RFP. So I'd like to make a motion, because it seems the logging company may have an open PO from the past boards. So I'd like to make a motion to contact the logging company and cancel any agreement that may have been verbal or in writing, and advertise a proper authorized RFP for timber harvest on parcels owned by the town of Lyman.
I'll second that motion.
Before you do that, there was a lot that played into that.
Say it again, John.
Before you do that, there was a lot that played into that. Especially in the Bunganut area. It was really important that it was an incredibly clean job. The company we had actually brought in a mini excavator and cleaned up walking trails. There was one area where there were some, on the back side where there was like a speaking area on the back side of Bunganut they hadn't got to, and there was no equipment. We couldn't get equipment over there easily. They actually cut a dangerous tree by hand for safety there. Given the fact that we've got municipal forests, I mean, I think it's incredibly important who does the logging. There's different companies have different methods. One year, there was logging going on around us, and we had some stuff open, and they said, look, we're going to cut it all up. We're going to make a mess. Everybody else is. We don't do that. And I mean, I understand the bid thing. I understand all of that. When we first started with them, you've got your state forester available. He can't mark trees, but he can monitor. And the first lot we did was a trial lot. And I had asked him if he would look over this with me and the prices we got. And we did better financially than he thought we would. We had spoke to other landowners. We actually went and saw their work, spent a fair amount of time walking some of their sites and their previous work. And that's all I got to say. If you want to put it out to bid, you get what you get.
Well,
So I
it's
think-
disappointing that you've put that much effort into it, because there's nothing in the minutes in regards to that.
Oh, it's all there
So-
somewhere, Dave.
So,
Whether you've got it or not,
I-
I don't know, but it's there somewhere. It
I
was
think
thoroughly
this is kind
discussed.
of, I'm gonna make this similar to Billy Single Jr.
Thank you.
and Bunganut.
Yep.
I wanted Billy there. I wanted nobody else there, but we still had to put it out for bid.
Yeah, but this was not a service we were paying for, Rusty.
John, most reputable loggers today have a certified forester. Most of them have them on their payroll, but they certainly work with them closely. As for leaving debris behind, that's up to the select board to do diligence when the contract comes in.
That's fine,
For the stumpage of what they actually will do and will not do.
and that's fine. Do what you want to do. I'm just telling you why it was done that way. It's like everything else. If you want to make a change, go ahead, but we weren't required to bid it.
Well, that's.
And you're not required to bid it now, because you're not selling anything, you're not hiring a service, you're not doing anything
You're
else.
absolutely hiring iron.
You've got
service
no ordinance, you've got
that gets
nothing
paid,
covering
that
it.
gets paid through the process of cutting your timber.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, right now, you have no ordinances, no rules, no nothing governing this.
I
So-
would think that that falls under.
I don't care what you
services
think, you got
over a
nothing
certain
there.
amount.
I,
Can you tell me what they paid roughly the town, John?
No idea. You'll have to dig for it.
I tried.
I'm sure the treasurer has it.
my personal.
Not so much the money, just what we're getting for stumpage.
What?
What do they pay per board foot?
Good Lord,
That's
Dave, you're
where a lot of
5-6
money
years
gets left
ago.
on the table. Some, loggers will be X, others will be O.
Okay,
So that's why it's important to put out an RFP and to figure out what is the best bang for the buck for the lineman asset that we're cutting down and basically selling. That's
So-
my opinion.
it's also very important to what the place looks like afterwards.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Future harvest.
But that's part of doing diligence.
Right.
I don't think, it sounds like another unilateral decision was made, and now, I wasn't going here, but now I feel that was wrong.
there was no unilateral decision being made, and there haven't been any unilateral decisions being made. Now, I don't know why you keep digging for that shit.
This is just part of my due diligence with the town land. That's all it is, John.
Okay,
Where are we? Thoughts
She
on
made a
this?
motion.
Dave made a motion, I made a
You
second,
made a second.
All right, so we were
We had discussion.
we were discussing.
All in favor for an RFP for the timber harvest of Bunnell properties?
Aye.
What?
It was to cancel.
Cancel the
A
And put an
motion to
RFP
cancel
out.
the agreement and put an RFP.
I don't
out.
think there is an agreement.
If there's an agreement.
If there is.
I think it's no different than.
All right, all in favor?
You have any discussion on this, we vote on that?
We
We
just
just
discussed it
did.
forever.
I'd like to speak, if I may, please.
We just voted, but go ahead.
There was a lot of effort by the Board of Selectmen to choose a contractor to do this. They chose a contractor because of the kind of work he did. And you people need to ride around and look at some of the work he did. You need to look at the sites they left, how they left after they cleaned up. You need to look at look what he got paid for, what he paid the town for. He got the darn good dollar for what we got, right? I'm gonna tell you right now, as far as I'm concerned, you're making a big mistake putting this out to bid. Very big mistake. We've got an excellent contractor that's done excellent work, and it's a slap in the face to take this away from him.
That's the same thing we did with Billy Single.
I'm very.
I don't care,
confused.
you're paying
Why is it?
You're paying Mr.
one,
Single
but not
to mow. You're not paying this contractor. I can hand you 100 slips with the footage that they took off the property and keep 10 in my pocket, not paying for them. You're paying for honesty, trust, and like that. And I'm not saying you won't get that with other contractors, but I know our dealings with this gentleman here has been above board. He's got us every dollar that we could get out of this money, and he's left the site in excellent condition. And you're just opening a can of worms.
Mark,
And
you-
he's welcome to
you're-
bid on
You're
it.
opening a can of worms,
You're
David.
once again extrapolating as if this is something against the contractor. It's not.
I know that, but
I happen to come across this, and it's more of a, John, what do you say? Clean it up? You know?
But there was
Clean
nothing
it up.
done wrong.
You know, if it needs an RFP, or if it should have had an RFP, then let's do a proper one and put it out. There's no saying that this guy isn't gonna get the job. There's no saying that in this case, we have to take the highest stumpage.
you have no expertise. You people in deciding who gets the contract have no expertise in deciding that. So how are you gonna decide who gets the contract? I can throw you in an RFP here that meets your criteria and not fulfill it no matter what. I mean, a lot of this logging business, as far as I can see, is done by trust, and you trust your contractor to do a good job and take care of it. And you need to ride around and look at some of the sites that he's done And how he left them.
I've seen them, Morris. and
Well, I'm just telling you, you open the can of
Is there-
worms, David, that's all I got to say.
As usual, I do, Morris.
My mother.
Is there any, I don't know much about, but is there any paperwork on these
Yeah,
people?
yeah, yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying anything against them.
We have to
How
do,
long have you used them, Tom?
we have,
I don't know, Morris, and anything I've ever seen done, I'm, you know, I look and I always go, wow, what a nice job they've done. And
we had to do state paperwork for it, record all that. They came in, Nancy Brown was sitting where Lindsay sits now. They came in, helped her fill that out, set it all up.
Most loggers actually fill out all that.
Yes.
How long ago was that? You said 5+ years?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
And do we have a plan? You know, we've been talking about all the stuff we talked about.
We
tonight. Do we
talked
have a
about,
plan?
we identified half a dozen sites initially.
Yeah.
And actually, there was a forestry plan, should be in town hall here somewhere, that was done, oh, good Lord, 10 years before we even started doing this. The Maine Forestry Association found it. So we actually worked off of that some. And what we did, we identified 5 potential sites.
Yep.
And did some of that. We cleaned up around the transfer station.
Yeah.
Right in front of Cousin's School, there was a huge pasture pine where the scoreboard was. They did some thinning out there and took away that pasture pine for us. And we actually got paid for it, which was pretty incredible.
Okay.
And there was a lot of stuff. It took a while to find these guys. And it was just, and it was like Morris said, I noticed their work somewhere and it was incredible. It was like a park.
Are they local?
It's Cornish. Google Highland Logging in Highland, Jersey.
No,
Highland Farms.
They're fantastic. I have no issue.
No, neither do I.
But anyway,
Okay.
there was, I don't know where it was recorded or what it was in the minutes or whatever, but there was pretty thorough discussion. We all walked the site.
Okay, let's I just want to try to diffuse it just a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know, and what Dave said, you know, we've been trying to bring things center.
I understand that.
Maybe it's time for a reset. Just take a look at it. And I think we're at that.
Right.
It's nothing against the person, the company.
I just don't like this unilateral
Nothing against
decision
them.
stuff.
Well, we voted.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we know the name of it and.
It just doesn't,
Hi, Chief.
1 minute, we're hounded.
You're still passed. You're welcome.
I need a motion.
It did the date as well.
It did? Oh, good.
It did.
All right. I told her it passes.
Okay. I need a motion.
So I make a motion, we go into executive session per MRSA 405A personnel matters.
A second.
All in favor? All right. We're going.
This is a quick one.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You got it.
John, you sign these?
I think.
Yeah, except the purchase orders.
Yep,
I mean,
right,
unless
yep,
you want
yep.
me. I think I did. I probably missed one. I usually do.
Everybody's got the card.
You gotta wait till she goes to the camera.
Yep.
No?
I just get real fussy with land. It's what I do.
I'll give you my email.
That's why I was bumming out. So glad Billy got it. He takes so much pride in his work.
So David's the only one without the information on it, so I just have to fill it out.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's a quick one.
I didn't send it in an email, I don't think it did.
her landline, even though it looks like a Maryland number.
Hey, Dave, the pond's almost frozen to your house.
Is it?
I can almost walk to your house. Not quite yet, but almost.
You'd be able
Try
to
it, see you in
before
the
I.
spring, I'll fish you out.
Yeah, please do. I'll make it about halfway, so that's where you start looking.
Mhm.
They did what yesterday, ice sailor. He went, that person went in, then someone went to save them, they went in, the old duck theory. But they got out, they didn't,
No way.
they did.